Hello guys, welcome to my channel. It's your girl Oluchi. So today we're going to talk about the custody battle between Davido and Sophia, his baby mama. Guys, this topic trended on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere was buzzing. People were giving their opinions. Some sided Davido, others Sophia. Once the topic is out, people are definitely going to give their opinions. At the end of it all, our opinion doesn't matter. What matters is this child's welfare and well-being, this child's interest. It doesn't matter whether your favorite celebrity wins. It doesn't matter if your favorite baby mama wins. What matters is the interest of this child is considered and favored by the court. Guys, I will give you all the facts, all the juicy details, and then my unbiased opinion. But first, let me give you a detailed background of the story. It will help you put things in perspective, and then you understand better. So David entered into a relationship with Sophia Mahmood in 2013. And they had a child in 2015. Imade Adeleke was born on May 15, 2015. When this child was born, Davido was 21, while Sophie was 27. I'm bringing age into this story because it is going to matter as time goes on. Now, when this baby was born, Davido said he had to do a DNA to ascertain that the child was actually his, and that he felt he was taken advantage of by Sophie, who was 6 years older than him. He said he was in his early 20s. He was just hitting 21, while she was in her late 20s. So he felt he was taken advantage of, probably because of his status or his wealth. And after this child was born, it became messy, because at one point it was alleged by Dinmaumeh that the uncle of Sophie Mahmood, that this child was almost smuggled out of the country by Davido's sister, but was apprehended by the police, which was of course brought by Sophie. There's no way you're going to take a child away from the mom. It's not possible. And then it became more messier. David accused Sophie of using marijuana while feeding their baby, said it's impacting on the baby's health, and that accusations were thrown up and down. So it was messy in the beginning, and it's going to become messy as time goes on. At one point, I think they settled. There was a mediation. David apologized. He even gave a side of the story in a song he released. All was fine and good. They were co-parenting. They were co-sharing. You understand? Until they had an issue in 2022. Because in the court document released by Sophie, he said they were in a relationship from 2013 to 2017, and then they picked up again in 2020, and then ended in 2022. 2020 was a very sad year for Davido and his family. He lost his son Ifani, who was drowned in his father's residence while he and Choma was away for a wedding. May you so rest in peace. Then fast forward to 2024. David filed for joint custody. Now, this is what people don't really understand. When you talk about custody, immediately custody was mentioned. People didn't care to find out whether it was sole custody. People didn't care to find out whether it was joint custody, split custody. They feel that custody means that the father was taking away the child from the mom. But guys, it is not. Now, joint custody is where the responsibilities of raising the child is shared between the parents 50-50. Both the parents has the right to take major decisions in the child's life. If Davido said, my child is not going to learn how to swim, and Sophie said, my child is good, they have to come to a compromise. They have to make the decision jointly on behalf of the child. So that is what joint custody is all about, because I feel people are really misunderstanding this case. And then Sophie responded in a 102 paragraph affidavit. Guys, 102 paragraph affidavit. Guys, I'm going to put the document on the screen, and then I'll summarize and give you the necessaries and the juicy details of what you need to come to whatever opinions you're going to have. So she stated, or she claimed, that her child is a minor who has stayed with her child all her life. She was responsible for the child mentally, physically, and financially. She didn't want custody to be granted to Davido, citing his controversial lifestyle. She stated that for the fact he lost his son in his house in a rather unfortunate and questionable circumstances, that he can't be placed in his custody. She stated that Davido only comes around when he wants to have sex and use the child as clothes. That is attention seeking. She also stated that she was the one paying for the rent of the house she lives with her child, and that Davido said he was going to only pay 5 million. In all the 150 paragraphs, I was seeing demands. Sophie's demand. There was no compromise. I want that and that for my child. She was seeking actually to get the sole custody of our child, and probably some visitation rights for David. So guys, I'm going to give my unbiased opinion. I'm not going to favor anybody, because I don't stand any of them. In fact, I don't follow any of them. First of all, Sophie is making an outrageous demand. It might work for her if she was in the United States, where the David's worth will be checked, and then they will allocate whatever child support they will give to him depending on his financial position. This is not US, and this is Nigeria. Her demands are outrageous. She wants the father of your baby, your child, to pay for school fees. They're already giving her 1 million maintenance for the child monthly, for the health insurance or any health care, any health issue, the family is going to pay. And then at the same time, the family is still going to contribute to the rent of the house. And you're paying 23 million for a house rent. I feel she's not financially smart. Why rent a house at that outrageous amount when you can save and buy for life? And from the court document that was leaked, she paid in 3 installments, which means she was biting off more than she can chew. She was biting off more than she can chew. And in a judicial system like ours, I'm not a lawyer, but I will give you what is obtainable. No court in Nigeria will grant those outrageous demands. Instead of giving you more, they will give you less. I don't know whether anybody's coming from Neze's channel. If they will give you less than what you're demanding for, and then at the end of the day, she's going to lose. She said something about the child, Davido missing the child's Christmases, birthdays. She said 2 Christmases and a birthday. Why Davido is saying that she refused to grant him assets to his child. She alleged, because this is somehow confusing, she alleged that Davido, there wasn't a time She said Davido isn't going to visit her child. She also said she doesn't want Davido to visit her child, and now it's becoming confusing at one point. You have to stand on one thing. If at all you said you wanted to, you granted him access, why is he complaining that you're not granted? Because that was the main purpose of, that was what he stated in his reasons, that he wasn't allowed access to the child. At some point, something is going to give. At some point, a compromise has to be, and it's from both parties. And it's supposed to be in the interest of the child, not in the interest of their sole relationship. Because according to the court document, they started their relationship in 2013 to 2017, and again 2020 to 2022. And that was when Davido stopped seeing the child. That was 2 years ago. And that was when also their relationship ended. Which means they are fighting each other, or they are fighting for their relationship, and not necessarily the interest of the child. Sophie said something about Davido's controversial lifestyle, but they can always meet somewhere. If you feel that his house is not conducive, you can always choose a place and time where you can grant him access. You can also, or you can either say, okay, you can take the child away for weekends. There should be a nanny. There should be there for supervision. And all that, a compromise has to be made. Because David filing for that custody means he wants to be in his child's life. And you saying that he wants to use the child whenever he visits, it was for attention seeking and clout. If actually it was for attention seeking and clout, he will not go this far filing for joint custody. He will just let it go, because it's a strain on his finances and then on his reputation. If actually he's a deadbeat father like she is trying to paint, then he wouldn't even bother filing for court joint custody. He would say, since you don't want to, carry your child and go. He won't even bother. Another thing that Sophie said in the affidavit is that he didn't want custody to be granted to Davido because he lost his child in a questionable character. Doesn't mean that anybody that lost their child, he's not permitted to have a child. And for the fact this child was left in the care of a nanny. If it happened while he was on the property, then it would be called negligence. He wasn't on the property. His wife wasn't on the property either. They went for a wedding. What law says that you can't leave your child and go out? That when you leave your child to ease off stress, that automatically you're a bad parent, automatically you're a negligent parent. So if only Sophia could calm down, because now, from what I'm saying, is even favoring her now. The child's school fees is being paid. From what I gathered, I think it's 46 million. 5 million is contributed towards house rent. Anything about health, the Davido's family takes care of it. 1 million maintenance fee. I don't know. She's only allowed to contribute to house rent, which is just 18 million naira. The problem is that at the end of this court proceedings, she might be receiving less than what she bargained. Less than what she bargained. And then with all these things thrown in the internet never forget. With all these accusations, trying to keep the child away from the family, it will come back to haunt her. So guys, I'm going to end my video here. Please state your opinions in the comment section. Please like, subscribe, and share my video. Thank you guys. Bye.